She laughed when I cried after her affair, so I took her to our favorite restaurant and served her divorce papers with a side of revenge. I never thought I'd be the kind of man to share something like this, but I can't keep it inside any longer. My wife, Sarah, 34, and I, 36, had been married for 8 years. We met in college, built our careers together from the ground up, bought our dream home with years of savings, and were even talking about starting a family soon. I worked as a financial consultant, and Sarah was a marketing executive at a well-known company. From the outside, everything looked great. We were the perfect couple, or so I thought. But all of that changed just 3 months ago, when Sarah began acting strangely distant. She started working late, always glued to her phone, and slowly pulled away from the little things that once made our routine feel like home. At first, I thought it was just stress. Her company was going through a major merger, and everyone there was working overtime. I gave her the benefit of the doubt, because that's what you do when you trust someone. But deep down, something didn't feel right. One night, I woke up around 2 in the morning and realized she wasn't in bed. I got up and found her downstairs in the kitchen, speaking softly on the phone. When she noticed me, she quickly ended the call and claimed it was a work emergency. I wanted to believe her. I really did, but the guilty look in her eyes said more than words ever could. A few days later, I noticed she had changed the password on her phone. When I brought it up casually, she got defensive, accusing me of not trusting her. After 8 years together, that one moment felt like a warning bell. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I decided to observe, quietly watching for more signs. She began working out more often, bought new clothes, and took forever getting ready in the mornings. I knew what it meant. Everyone knows those signs, but I needed proof. The truth hit me when I borrowed her laptop one morning. Mine had crashed, so I grabbed hers to finish some work. While I was logged in, a notification popped up, a message from someone named Alex. It read, "Can't wait to see you again. Last night was amazing." My heart sank. That evening, I confronted her. I expected lies or excuses, maybe tears, but she didn't even flinch. She just said calmly, like she was discussing the weather, "Yes, I've been seeing Alex." I felt like the wind had been knocked out of me. I asked her why. What did I do wrong? And then she laughed, actually laughed, and said, "It's not what you did wrong. It's who you are. You're too weak, too predictable, too nice." I stood there, frozen, as she tore me apart with words. "Alex is everything you're not," she continued. "Confident, dominant, exciting." And then she said something that I'll never forget. "I want you to watch us together, just once. Then you'll understand what I need, what you can't give me." I didn't know what to say. My jaw literally dropped. I must have looked so broken in that moment because she softened her voice and said, "It's called cuckolding. A lot of couples do it. It could save our marriage if you just accept who you are." I didn't respond. I just walked out of the room and slept in the guest bedroom that night, my mind racing with everything she'd said. Was she right? Was I really that weak? Had our entire marriage been a lie? The next morning, I made a decision that would change my life. I told her I'd think about it. "Maybe," I said, watching her face light up with some sick kind of excitement. "But I need time. A few weeks." She nodded, smiling, thinking I was finally giving in. "You won't regret it," she said, squeezing my hand. But what she didn't know was that I'd already called a lawyer. I had no intention of staying married to someone who wanted to humiliate me. Over the next 2 weeks, I played along. I collected evidence. I transferred half of our savings to a private account my lawyer advised me to open. I quietly looked for an apartment and packed my essentials. All the while, Sarah became more bold, talking openly about Alex, texting him in front of me, and even telling me I should take notes on how he treated her. Every word cut me deeper, but I kept my cool, pretending to be on board with her sick fantasy. Then she told me that Alex would be coming over that Friday night. She'd planned everything. What she would wear, what they would drink, even where I was supposed to sit and watch. My stomach turned, but I didn't show it. "I have one condition," I told her. Before this happens, I want us to have dinner, just us, at Marcelo's, to say goodbye to our old marriage before starting this new chapter. She agreed without hesitation, probably thinking I was finally surrendering. Marcelo's was the place we'd had our first date, and where I proposed. The irony was almost too much to handle. That Thursday night, we went to Marcelo's. Sarah wore a black dress, looked as beautiful as ever, and spoke with the same soft voice that once made me fall in love. But now, everything about her felt hollow. We sat at our old corner table, and for a moment, it almost felt like the past. But I knew the truth. As we finished dessert, she reached across the table and took my hand. "I'm proud of you," she said. "Most men wouldn't be secure enough to even consider this." I nodded and said I needed to use the restroom. But instead, I slipped the waiter my card and sent a quick text to finalize my plan. When I returned to the table, I placed a manila envelope in front of her. She looked confused. "What's this?" she asked, still smiling. "Open it," I said. Her smile faded as she pulled out the divorce papers, already signed. Then came the photos, her and Alex kissing in a car, entering hotels together, holding hands. Everything she'd been hiding for months, captured by the private investigator I'd hired. Her face turned pale. "I don't understand," she whispered. "I thought you were okay with—" I cut her off. "You said I was weak. Too nice. But I'm not weak, Sarah. I'm just not cruel." She flipped through the photos, her hands shaking. "You've been spying on me?" she asked, her voice a mix of shock and anger. "I've been protecting myself," I replied calmly. "Just like you've been protecting your affair. Lying. Planning to humiliate me in my own home." Tears started to fall from her eyes, her perfect makeup ruined as reality hit her. "This isn't what I wanted," she cried. "I thought if you understood." "I understand," I said. "You wanted everything, the stability I gave you, and the excitement he gave you. And you wanted me to watch so you could feel better about betraying me." Just then, the waiter came over with champagne, something I had pre-ordered. I waved him away. There was nothing to celebrate. "There's more," I said, pulling out my phone. I showed her the screenshots, texts with her boss. It turned out that Alex was a potential client of her firm, and by sleeping with him, Sarah had violated her company's ethics policy. I'd sent an anonymous report 2 days ago. "You didn't," she gasped. "I did," I replied. "I didn't do it to hurt you. I did it because I deserve better." Sarah was now sobbing. "What about the house? Our life?" she begged. "You threw that away the day you decided I wasn't worth your honesty." I stood up and placed my key and wedding ring on the table. "I've moved out. You can keep the house for now. The lawyer will handle the rest." As I turned to leave, she grabbed my wrist. "Please don't do this," she said. "We can fix this. I made a mistake." I looked at her one last time.
No, Sarah.
The mistake was thinking I'd thank you for it. I walked out of Marcelo's with my head high. The cool night air felt like freedom on my skin. My phone buzzed, a message from Alex. "Sarah just called me crying." "What did you do?" I blocked him without reading the rest. That night, I sat on the couch in my new apartment, surrounded by boxes, drinking a beer, and watching the city lights. Sarah called 17 times. I let them all go to voicemail. Eventually, I turned my phone off and let the silence wash over me. Was I heartbroken? Of course. Was I lost? Maybe a little. But weak? No, never again. The next few weeks were a blur of lawyers, therapy, and slowly rebuilding my life. Sarah tried to win me back, then blamed me when I didn't respond. Her company put her on probation, and Alex, from what I heard, disappeared as soon as things got messy. 6 months later, the divorce was final. I got half our assets, and all of my self-respect. Because sometimes, strength doesn't mean fighting or screaming. Sometimes, strength means quietly walking away from people who think your kindness is weakness, and never looking back. If you read this far, thank you. And if you've ever been betrayed, just know this. You deserve better, too. Hit that subscribe button for more true stories of revenge, healing, and strength.